Little Sweet Potato. Written by Amy Beth Bloom and illustrated by Noah Z. Jones. And published by HarperCollins. Once upon a time, there was a little sweet potato who lived in a garden patch where the earth was rich and brown and the air smelled sweet and spicy. He had never lived anywhere else at all. Just as little Sweet Potato was beginning to get a peek at the world around him, there was a terrible quaking and shaking, and everyone in the garden patch held on to their vines for dear life. Except little Sweet Potato got shaken loose and landed, plop, in the middle of a new and not so nice place. Where am I, he wondered, and how do I get back home? How will I know home when I get there? There was no one to answer him. How do you think he feels? Little Sweet Potato pulled together all of his sweet potato courage and went rolling over to the garden patch at the edge of the road. Look who he's seeing. "Excuse me," said Little Sweet Potato very politely. "Do I belong here?" Who's he talking to? What are those things? Carrots, that's right. Those carrots, they looked at him, and they looked at one another, and they fluffed their leafy green tops, and they wiggled their long orange bodies. "We think not," they said. "You are lumpy and dumpy, and we have to say it. You're bumpy. You don't belong here." Oh, Little Sweet Potato rolled away as quickly as he could. He didn't know the world had such mean vegetation in it. Trying to be brave, Little Sweet Potato rolled off to another patch, hoping things would go better and be a little nicer. "Excuse me," said Little Sweet Potato. Do you think there might be a place for me in this garden?" What are those big purple things called? That's right, eggplants. The eggplants looked at him, and they looked at one another. "Well, let me think." The biggest one grumbled. "Nope, see, we are handsome and purple with skin like satin. And in fact you are dumpy and bumpy and kind of lumpy. What I'm trying to say, pal, is scram." And Little Sweet Potato rolled away. He didn't know the world had such scary vegetation in it. "I am down but not out," said Little Sweet Potato bravely. And even though his feelings were mashed very soft and tender from all the rough handling, he rolled himself to the edge of another garden. "Excuse me," he said. "Do you think maybe I can move in next to you?" "Oh my goodness," they giggled, their long green arms covered with velvety blue and yellow faces. "Oh dear, we don't think so. You're not even a flower. You're a lumpy, bumpy, dumpy vegetable. And we're beautiful. No offense." And they waved goodbye as the Little Sweet Potato rolled off. The rest of the day was just as bad. Bunches of round fruit, shiny and bright and green as marbles, told him to get lost. Grapes. Pink and puffy, sweet-smelling flowers with soft petals and sharp stickers told him there was no room in their garden. What are those with sweet-smelling and sharp stickers? Roses, that's right. Curvy striped green vegetables with bent necks and beautiful yellow flowers told him to shove off. What's that vegetable with a Z that looks like that? Zucchini. Oh, and now it's raining. Poor Sweet Potato. "That's it," said Little Sweet Potato. "There's just no place for me. I'm all alone," he thought. And one big tear rolled down his dear, bumpy sweet potato face. Hey, you little sweet potato. You, yeah, Bumpy, Bumpalicious. Who, me? Little sweet potato didn't know he was being called. Was he a sweet potato? Was he Bumpalicious? You're sweet, you're neat, and you've got that gorgeous sunset color. You're a sweet potato. Now roll on over here. Little sweet potato did roll towards the voice, and his little sweet potato heart was beating fast. It's called the Hodgepodge Patch, and there's vacancy, there's room, and a hodgepodge is a mixture of things. Excuse me, he said when he got to the patch. What for? We're just so glad you found your way back home. A lumpy, dumpy, and wonderfully bumpy sweet potato said very kindly. Home, said little sweet potato. He felt himself glowing as brightly as the sun. I'm home? Absolutely, said the big, bumpy, and magnificent lumpy sweet potato. And in the world's greatest garden, with fruit and vegetables, and some flowers so fancy, I don't even know what they are. Let's see if we can name who's here. Looks like broccoli or celery, pumpkin, eggplant, squash, a cucumber that's a pickle, watermelon, daisies, or another flower, roses, tomatoes, strawberry, grapes, mushrooms, pepper, cantaloupe, potato, carrot, another pumpkin. Some just like their own kind, said one of the pansies very sweetly. But we're the kind that likes all kinds. You are so nice, said little sweet potato. I met some flowers who looked just like you, but they weren't very nice. Some are and some aren't, said a friendly carrot. We are. We're the friendly ones. That's how it is, kid, said a gleaming eggplant. It's not all mulch and sunshine out there. Oh, I know, said little sweet potato. All kinds, said the big sweet potato. Teeny and tall, big and small, fat as a ball and skinny as a stick. Of course, I happen to think lumpy, dumpy, and bumpy is especially nice. Me too, said little sweet potato. At least he thought he said it. He was getting awfully sleepy. He rolled into the patch on a spot that seemed just the right size, little sweet potato size. And he nestled into the rich brown earth, and he gazed at the sky and the trees and the vegetables and the flowers, and he settled down with a smile on his sweet potato face. How wonderful to be a sweet potato. How wonderful to be home at last. And that's the end of The Little Sweet Potato.